Apple's 16-inch MacBook Pro has been out for over 6 months now, and it's proven itself as an excellent high-end laptop with its premium features and great performance. But since then, the 13-inch MacBook Pro has been refreshed with the same great Magic Keyboard and a new 10th gen chip, which really impressed us with its hidden benefits that we talk about in our review of that machine. So in this video, we're gonna answer a few questions like which features did we enjoy the most over the past 6 months? Is the 16-inch MacBook Pro worth it over the new 13-inch, and should you wait for the 2020 refresh of the 16-inch Pro? So let's start off with what we enjoyed. The biggest difference we noticed compared to the previous 15-inch MacBook Pro is the new Magic Keyboard. This difference alone made the switch worth it. Typing feels a lot better thanks to noticeably more key travel than before, along with a nice amount of feedback that you usually don't get on a lot of Windows laptops. And most importantly, we haven't noticed a single reliability issue with this keyboard over the past 6 months, nor have we heard of any online, compared to the previous Butterfly keyboard, which experienced faulty key issues that led to consumers losing trust in Apple MacBooks. So we're very glad that Apple not only fixed the issue, but gave us a top-of-the-line keyboard as well. After getting used to the newly updated 6-speaker system on the 16-inch Pro, we were surprised to hear how much worse the speakers on the previous 15-inch MacBook Pro sound. There is such a big difference in overall sound quality and clarity, and there's no doubt that these speakers are better than any Windows laptop available today. In terms of the new studio quality microphone, it didn't really matter that much to us until the lockdown happened, and at that point, the better mic quality was great for online Zoom meetings. However, getting the same crappy 720p webcam as the MacBook Air is just sad when you're spending $2,400 on this premium MacBook. And even at the current incredible Amazon sale price of just $2,200, using the link in the description below, it's still so expensive for getting a webcam this bad. So I'm not sure how Apple is gonna fix this in the future since the top lid is so incredibly thin, but I'm sure they'll be paying a lot more attention to it now that we've gone through the whole lockdown situation. But what I do like is the new slimmer display bezels, and while this is a pretty subtle change, it feels really bad going back to the 15-inch Pro, which has the larger bezels, so I'm very happy that Apple went with this change. Now let's talk about performance. When I reviewed the 2019 15-inch MacBook Pro, I was really impressed to see that Apple finally fixed the cooling issues, so the processors performed great compared to the old 2018 models. The only downside was that the graphics options went unchanged, so video editing performance didn't really improve at all. But that all changed with the 16-inch MacBook Pro, which finally got updated Navi graphics, and we were surprised to see that the base 5300M GPU outperformed the best Vega 20 option in the 15-inch MacBook Pro, which you had to pay at least $3,150 for compared to $2,200 for that base model right now on Amazon. So thanks to the new graphics and the new 8-core processor option, which by the way, doesn't overheat like we thought it would, video editing performance has been outstanding on the 16-inch MacBook Pro. And not only that, but you can now buy the base 16-inch Pro and actually get decent FPS in games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So everything about the performance of the 16-inch MacBook Pro is great. The only difference 6 months later is that we now have the $1,800 13-inch MacBook Pro with the new 10th gen chips. If we compare raw processing power, the 16-inch MacBook Pro is definitely ahead thanks to its 6-core processor, and since the cooling system is better, there is an even bigger difference in the Cinebench R20 stress test, so the 16-inch is definitely worth the extra $400, and you have the option of paying even more for an 8-core CPU if you really need it. Now where the 16-inch Pro really shines is its graphics performance, since it's the only MacBook with a dedicated graphics chip. Even though the 13-inch Pro's new 10th gen processor has much better integrated graphics compared to before, it's still about 2.5 times weaker than the base graphics in the 16-inch model in terms of raw graphics performance. And that difference was even bigger in Unigine heaven, with the 16-inch getting over 3 times the FPS. And then where it really matters is for things like video editing, where the 16-inch finished our 5-minute 4K export test almost 3 times as fast. So it's very clear that if you want the most performance for graphics related work, you should definitely buy the 16-inch MacBook Pro. But for common tasks like basic 4K editing, the 13-inch Pro is actually fast enough for most people. And we were surprised to see not that big of a difference in our Lightroom photo editing export test, since it mostly relies on the processor and the RAM. And that's what's really great about the new 13-inch. It comes standard with 16 gigs of RAM, just like the 16-inch does, and it also comes with 512 gigabytes of storage as well. So for common processor-related tasks, the new $1,800 13-inch model is currently a better value, especially since it's much more portable as well. But for anything graphics-related, the 16-inch MacBook Pro is still by far the king. So let's finish off with our final question. Should you wait for the next refresh of the 16-inch MacBook Pro, or just buy that excellent $2,200 Amazon deal right now? Well, we first need to discuss the realistic changes that we should expect on that new model. Since the current 16-inch model just got redesigned with new display bezels, we shouldn't expect any design differences at all. That means the speakers, the microphones, the keyboard, the trackpad, the size, the bezels, and basically everything else should stay the same. Now there is a chance that the webcam will be updated, but maybe it won't since the top lid is so thin. And we know that Apple is working on their mini LED displays, but that most likely won't come until at least sometime next year. What we should expect is brand new 10th gen processors, which actually might still be using Intel's 14nm technology, probably faster RAM, and the possibility of some new graphics chip options. There's also the chance that we'll get 1TB of SSD storage at the base price, but it'll most likely stick to 16 gigs of RAM as standard. So it seems like if there will be a 2020 refresh of the 16-inch MacBook Pro, which we should expect sometime this summer, it'll mostly be a spec update without any real changes to the actual design, unless Apple decides to totally surprise us. I expect there to be a somewhat decent improvement in performance, but nowhere near the difference we saw coming from the 15-inch MacBook Pro. So the question you have to ask yourself is the boost in specs and performance worth waiting a couple of extra months and then paying $2,400 for? Or should you just buy the current 16-inch Pro for only $2,200 on Amazon right now and enjoy those luxury features like the Magic Keyboard, the speakers, and the thinner display bezels? In my personal opinion, the wisest move would be to hold off for a couple of months and wait for the new 2020 model to be announced, just in case Apple surprises us with more than just spec updates like we're currently expecting. But in terms of how good the 16-inch MacBook Pro has been for the last 6 months, we're extremely impressed with basically everything about it, except for that horrible 720p webcam that we really hope Apple will change. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and if you did, you can click that circle above to subscribe for more videos like this one, and you can go ahead and check out our review of the $1,800 10th gen MacBook Pro right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.